She was throwing stuff at us and calling us N-word.
And that's the f***ing problem.
Stop. Do not fight me. Put your hands behind
I'm not going to put my hands against it. I'm not going to fight anybody.
Do not fight me or I'm going to put you on the ground. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Listen, shut up.
No, you stop talking.
Okay, shut up. I get it. These kids are not the problem here.
Come on.
Wait. No, stop.
This is not going to go well for you. You're going to go
stop
to my
right
car.
here, please. Are you still laughing? Like,
I don't
why?
care. You're out here beating up little kids. Give me a
I'm
break.
beating up little kids.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I'm not beating up little
Stop.
kids.
Stop.
I'm not beating up little kids. Look at this little backside.
See, and this is what I'm saying.
Look at her.
Get in the car.
Happily. This is the fucking, oh my God.
I'll talk to you in a minute. So tell me what happened.
Okay, the little girl right here with the purple on, she pushed her down. She calling them, and then she pushed the little girl down. Wait a minute,
Hey, let me tell you. Because the girl...
Hold on, guys, give me a second. Here's what we have to do, so that way we get everything straight. I've got more officers coming. We're gonna talk to everybody one at a time. Okay? You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
This is when she put her hands on.
Okay. Yeah. Let's all talk over here, guys. You break out my window, you're getting a felony charge. You understand that?
You're a real f***ing hard ass. Hear that?
Do you understand?
Now you what? 21?
No.
What? You're 22.
No, I'm 35.
Oh, hard ass. Oh.
What happened, sweetheart?
Riding my bike on my truck.
Where were you riding your bike at? Over on Orange?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then she came up to me and pushed me off.
So you were just riding your bike and she just pushed you off willy-nilly?
And then she was trying to touch me.
36, if you could step it up. She's trying to break out my window. Give me just a second, guys.
Oh, you think you're getting somewhere?
Stop!
No!
Stop!
So let me
Stop!
give me a minute!
No!
No!
You need to stop. Act like a grown-up.
I'm
How old are you?
trying to. How old are you?
How old are you?
I'm your age.
Okay, then you need to start
So
acting like
give me
it.
a minute to act like your age.
Okay, then I'm telling you, sit in the back of this car, relax, and I will come talk to
You're
you.
giving all these f***ing children a minute.
Correct, because they're the alleged victim, so you need to
And I
relax.
was here to like
You need to relax.
I was on their
You need
side.
to relax.
I was on their
You need
side.
to relax. I will come talk
That's
to you
not
and
fair.
get everything figured out. But right now, you need to relax and act like an adult.
That's not fair.
Do you understand?
No, I don't. I have children.
I am trying to talk to them to get everything set.
No, they don't. Please.
Okay, I'll stand with her.
Please.
All right, so what's going on? Explain it to me. I want you to take 5 deep breaths.
Oh, take my breath.
Take 5 deep breaths.
Clear 10-3. I've got units here. Thank you. Sorry.
I'm trying to get my bike back, but she was like,
Did she take your bike?
she pushed me off the bike and I was trying to grab it, but she was trying to touch me.
Okay.
Did she put her hands around your neck? That's what Tom said. Did she was choking you?
Did she choke you out?
I think she was trying to put her hands around my neck.
On the front or the back?
I think on the side. Then she pushed
On
me
the
off.
side?
Then she pushed me off my bike.
These kids are literally all that like we have as like, you know, all that we have as like what's given to them. Like look around. We're fucking straight up like these kids have tried every moment that I've had to say the word n. Like they have tried my life, and yes, I have kids. I have kids that are their age. So yes, you're right. I'm not scared to say the word n because my kids grow up in these streets.
But she was calling them. And she was calling me up by that fence.
Do you guys know this lady at all?
No,
Never seen her before.
we just
You've never
all
seen
came
her?
from her birthday party that we just left from.
Okay.
So what happened today?
I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but like oh my God, I can't. They're like, these kids are like, they're just like, oh, they're terrorists.
What did they do today?
I pay money, taxes, and all the things. Like, trust me, I've gone to jail. You can look me up. I know that it's not a You can look me up, Alexander. Like, you can look me up in Collier County. Like, you can see it. Like, I've been to jail in Collier County. Like, it's not a shame. But these kids.
What did they do to you today, or what
Today,
happened?
they just literally, it was like a, you know, you have kids. Do you have kids?
I do.
All right, who's next? Who can I talk to next? You called?
I'm the one that called.
Okay, perfect. Let's talk over here real quick. What'd you see?
Not much. All I seen was the kids were running from the park. You could see she was throwing stuff. She was chasing them. And then they got to this corner and turned, and then she's walking back. That little girl was riding her bike, and that lady just walks up and pushes her off the bike, pushes her to the ground and everything. And then at that moment, I called 911 because you're not going to assault a minor.
Right.
And then my mom went over there to try to defuse the situation and everything.
Okay.
Can you please just like unhook?
I'm gonna wait for a female officer to get here, and then
That's
we're
fine,
gonna
but
do that.
can you just unhook them for like a second, like a little bit, unhook them a little bit, because I literally cannot think straight without like the fact that like these kids,
Okay.
they have,
Give me a second.
they have, which I get it, like they're made to think that like they're all to be blamed for like everything. Everything's racist
Okay.
and everything. It's all race, and I get it. I do, but like I'm not the one. I'm
So why? So what happened today?
Today I can't. Can you just pinch my nose? Like this is crazy.
Want me to get you a tissue or something?
Yeah, just grab my shirt and grab my nose. Just grab my shirt and grab my nose. No. Yeah, and grab my nose. Grab my nose. Okay.
All right.
Alright.
So now tell me what happened.
So I don't understand. Like all these kids are like out here like there's nothing that can face them. Like there's nothing that can go wrong. And like I grew up in Naples, Florida, where like honestly nothing can really go wrong. But like everything can really go wrong. And I came up to these. I did.
You came up to these kids.
I came up to these kids and I was like, look, like I'm not gonna pretend like I'm like, you know, something safe to you, like because is not safe. Like people are not what they claim to be. And like I need you to know that.
Listen, if I did it, y'all gonna get me. Period. So it's time for them to get got. And I'm not gonna like, especially by her being a little girl.
What are you guys, neighbors?
No, don't know her from a can of paint.
So you approached them just to talk to them?
I approached them like I mean like can be wrong.
Do you know these kids?
I don't know these kids. No, I don't know these kids.
Okay. And you just wanted to tell them like what?
I wanted to like make a stance, or like I just wanted to like make them know that like things are not always what they seem. Like things are not always what they seem, and like if your mom is telling you like everything's right, like you know these kids literally came up to me like I was their best friend, and I was like, I'm not your best friend. Like
oh, so they approached you to talk with you?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that they approached me. These are like really bad.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. So I want you to listen to me. You were kicking this window earlier. If that happens again, we're gonna tie you.
I won't kick any windows. I won't.
We're gonna get you out. We're gonna check your handcuffs.
I can come out.
Yes, you can step out and we'll check the handcuffs.
What's your name?
Alexandra. I don't want to make problems for anybody, but these kids.
Can you put your chest against my trucker?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm gonna check your handcuffs, okay?
These kids, they just don't know the problem.
All right, here, have a seat in here, okay?
But can you please take this?
take 'em off.
I just want you to give me a little bit of like.
I already loosened them.
Have a seat in there. We're gonna figure everything out. If you explain to us what happened after we talk with them, then we'll be able to help you out with that, possibly.
They're like.
Have a seat. Push up.
Big step up. Big step.
There you go.
There we go.
Keep explaining to me. Keep explaining to me what happened.
Really suck.
Well, I want you to explain to Officer Fukunaga.
No, she doesn't want to hear.
No,
Yes,
I
she
wasn't
does.
here.
No, she doesn't.
I do. I wasn't here. So can you tell me from the beginning what happened?
These are kids. Look at that girl. Look at that girl right there.
She's a kid.
Everybody's giving her all of the benefit of the doubt, right?
Okay.
She's 12.
Was she the instigator? Is that what
I'm
you're
not
telling
going
me?
to sit here and say that the 12-year-old is the I'm not going to say.
Is this yours?
I'm asking.
Okay, this is hers, and here is her cell phone.
So what happened?
But
That's what
look
I'm
at
asking,
her.
what happened.
Like she's 12. So if I were to sit here and say that she was the investigator, would you give that all of the investigation?
No, I'm asking you what happened. I'm just asking
Can
what
I
happened.
please
It happened in Naples, Florida. Officers responded to a reported disturbance involving multiple juveniles and an adult female near a residential area close to Orange Avenue and a nearby grocery store. Officers were dispatched after a 911 call reported an adult woman chasing children, throwing objects, and pushing a juvenile off a bicycle. The caller stated that the woman had followed a group of children from a park area and that the situation escalated when physical contact occurred with at least one minor. Additional information indicated that witnesses observed the woman throwing an object toward the group of children before the physical encounter. When officers arrived on scene, they observed multiple juveniles gathered near a corner by a fence and gate, along with several adult witnesses. An adult female, later identified as Alexandra, was present and visibly engaged in verbal confrontation. Officers immediately began giving verbal commands as Alexandra moved toward them and continued speaking over instructions. Officers instructed her to stop, to not fight, and to put her hands behind her back. She verbally responded that she was not going to fight, but also stated she was not going to put her hands behind her back. As officers attempted to gain control of the situation, Alexandra continued to speak loudly and over officers, directing comments toward the juveniles and witnesses. Officers warned her that if she continued to resist commands, she would be taken to the ground. She was told multiple times to stop talking and comply. During this exchange, officers separated Alexandra from the children and positioned her near a patrol vehicle to prevent further interaction. While officers managed Alexandra's movements, they addressed the presence of several juveniles who appeared upset. Officers instructed the children to remain calm and informed them that additional officers were on the way. The officers explained that everyone would be spoken to individually to determine what had happened. Officers emphasized that the children were not in trouble and were considered alleged victims at that point. Officers then began gathering preliminary statements. One juvenile, described as a little girl wearing purple, was identified by witnesses as the child who had been pushed. An officer asked her what had happened. She stated that she was riding her bike on Orange Avenue when the woman came up to her and pushed her off the bike. The child said she was pushed to the ground and later described being pushed onto her buttocks. As officers continued speaking with the juvenile, they asked clarifying questions about the contact. The child stated that at one point the woman put a hand around her neck. When asked to clarify, the child indicated it was on the side of her neck and that she was then pushed again. Officers asked follow-up questions to determine whether the contact involved choking or grabbing, and the child consistently described a hand placed near her neck followed by being pushed. While this conversation was ongoing, Alexandra continued speaking loudly from near the patrol vehicle. Officers instructed her to remain calm and told her to sit in the back of the patrol car temporarily so they could finish speaking with the children and witnesses. Alexandra objected, stating that the situation was not fair and repeatedly referencing that she had children of her own. Officers reiterated that the children were being interviewed first because they were the alleged victims and instructed her to relax and act like an adult. After continued verbal resistance, she agreed to stay away while officers continued their investigation. Officers then spoke with another juvenile who stated she was trying to get her bike back when the woman attempted to grab it and prevent it from being taken. Officers asked whether the woman touched her neck or chest, and the juvenile indicated the woman placed a hand near her neck before pushing her. Officers continued to separate each juvenile to ensure individual statements were taken without interference. Additional officers arrived on scene, and officers confirmed they had sufficient units to continue interviews safely. Officers then began speaking with adult witnesses. One witness stated they observed children running from the park and saw the woman chasing them. The witness said they observed the woman throwing objects while pursuing the children and then saw her walk back toward the corner. The witness stated that a little girl was riding her bike when the woman approached and pushed her off the bike. At that point, the witness called 911. Another witness confirmed seeing the woman chasing the children and attempting to grab a branch or stick from a tree before continuing the pursuit. That witness stated they saw an object thrown toward the group of children but could not identify a specific child being targeted. They did not see the initial bike push but stated they believed it occurred based on what followed and what others reported. Officers continued to collect statements from all available witnesses, ensuring each person spoke separately. During this time, Alexandra remained detained near the patrol vehicle and continued to speak intermittently, referencing prior arrests and stating officers could look her up in Collier County. Officers instructed her again to remain calm and advised her that continued behavior could result in additional charges. As officers worked through the initial phase of the investigation, they maintained scene control, kept the juveniles separated from Alexandra, and continued documenting statements to establish a clear sequence of events leading up to police arrival. The situation remained active as officers transitioned toward addressing Alexandra directly regarding her involvement. As officers continued the investigation, Alexandra's behavior remained verbally active and disruptive despite repeated instructions to remain calm and seated. Officers observed her attempting to reinsert herself into the ongoing interviews, raising her voice toward both officers and juveniles. Officers again reminded her that the children were being interviewed individually and that she would be given an opportunity to explain her side after officers completed those statements. Officers responded by explaining that the children were alleged victims and that standard procedure required speaking with them first. She was instructed multiple times to relax, remain seated, and stop interrupting the investigation. Alexandra continued to argue verbally, stating that the situation was not fair and referencing that she had children of similar age. Officers warned Alexandra that continued interference could lead to further action. When she attempted to stand and move closer to the officers again, she was directed back toward the patrol vehicle. Officers reminded her that if she attempted to damage the vehicle or break a window, she would face felony charges. Alexandra acknowledged the warning verbally, but continued to speak loudly and over officers. Officers then resumed witness interviews. One juvenile stated that she and others were walking back toward a house when the woman began yelling and chasing children. The juvenile said the woman was screaming and appeared upset, and that at one point she pushed multiple kids toward a gate. When asked for clarification, the juvenile indicated that the pushing occurred near a gate on Orange Avenue and that there was no prior physical interaction from the children toward the woman. Officers asked the juvenile her age, and she stated she was 13 years old. Officers noted this information and continued asking clarifying questions about where everyone was standing and what actions occurred immediately before physical contact. The juvenile stated that the group was laughing about something unrelated and that the woman interpreted at her. The juvenile stated the woman then pushed them without warning. While officers conducted these interviews, Alexandra continued speaking from the patrol vehicle, repeatedly stating that the children were responsible and that they did not understand the problems in their community. Officers attempted to redirect her, advising her that she could explain her version after the interviews concluded. Alexandra continued to raise her voice, referencing prior jail history and stating that officers could look her up to verify it. Officers then spoke with another adult witness who stated they were outside their residence when they saw children running from the park. The witness stated the woman was chasing them and throwing items. The witness said the children turned a corner and were briefly out of sight, and then the witness saw the woman walking back. According to the witness, the little girl on the bike was not interacting with the woman when the woman approached and pushed her off the bike, followed by additional pushing. Officers asked whether the witness saw any poking or grabbing of the child beyond pushing. The witness stated that due to distance and the number of children present, they could not see every detail, but they clearly saw the push. Officers documented the witness's location and line of sight at the time of the incident. Another witness stated they had gone into a nearby store to get change and returned to see the aftermath. That witness confirmed seeing the woman chasing children and yelling. They stated they observed an object being thrown toward the group but could not identify the exact item. When asked whether they saw the child pushed off the bike, the witness stated they did not personally see that moment but believed it occurred based on what they observed immediately afterward. As officers continued documenting statements, Alexandra requested that her handcuffs be loosened. Officers informed her they would check the cuffs to ensure they were properly secured, but advised her that she would remain detained. She continued to speak rapidly and asked officers to unhook or loosen the restraints further, stating she could not think clearly. Officers advised her that the restraints were already checked and adjusted. Alexandra continued attempting to explain her version unsolicited, stating that she approached the children to make a stance and tell them that things were not always what they seemed. Officers asked her directly whether she knew the children. She stated she did not know them. Officers asked why she approached them, and she stated she wanted to talk to them and make them aware of perceived issues. Officers reminded her to answer questions directly and calmly. During this interaction, officers noted Alexandra repeatedly interrupting questions with unrelated statements. Officers attempted to redirect her multiple times, asking her to explain step by step what happened from the moment she first encountered the children. Alexandra continued speaking in general terms and did not provide a clear sequence of events. Officers warned Alexandra again about her behavior, stating that continued resistance or non-compliance could lead to additional charges. Alexandra denied touching any child and stated she had not assaulted anyone. Officers informed her that witness statements indicated otherwise and that the investigation was ongoing. At this stage, officers advised Alexandra of her right to remain silent. She continued speaking after the advice, asking officers why she was being detained and requesting proof of the allegations. Officers informed her that multiple witnesses had provided statements and that they were still in the process of completing the investigation. As officers worked to seat Alexandra fully inside the patrol vehicle, she resisted repositioning her body as instructed. Officers gave repeated commands for her to slide further into the seat. She verbally refused and stated she wanted officers to push her instead. Officers warned her that failure to comply would result in physical assistance being used. Alexandra continued to argue and denied any physical contact with children. Officers reiterated commands in a calm tone, advising her they were attempting to avoid using additional force. When she continued to resist positioning inside the vehicle, officers prepared to apply further restraints to maintain control and prevent damage to the patrol car or injury. The escalation continued as Alexandra refused to comply with seating instructions, repeatedly questioning officers' actions and asserting that the situation was wrong. officers maintained verbal control, issued clear commands, and prepared to transition from verbal compliance attempts to physical control measures to resolve the situation safely. The scene remained controlled by officers, with juveniles and witnesses separated and additional officers present as the interaction with Alexandra moved toward a decisive enforcement action. As officers continued giving clear, repeated commands for Alexandra to slide fully into the patrol vehicle, she remained non-compliant. Officers warned her that they were attempting to avoid any additional use of force, and that continued resistance would result in further restraints. Alexandra continued verbally objecting, stating that she had not touched any children and questioning the legitimacy of the investigation. She did not comply with instructions to reposition herself inside the vehicle. Officers informed Alexandra that her refusal to follow commands was escalating the situation. She was advised that if she continued resisting, officers would need to physically assist her into the proper seated position. Alexandra responded by stating that officers would have to push her. Officers reiterated that they were trying to resolve the situation without further force, and again instructed her to slide inward. When Alexandra continued to resist and shifted her body in a way that prevented officers from safely closing the vehicle door, officers made the decision to apply additional restraints to gain compliance and ensure safety. Officers advised her verbally that continued behavior would require the use of leg restraints. Alexandra acknowledged the warning but continued arguing and did not comply. Officers then coordinated to apply the restraints while maintaining control of her movements. They informed her of each step as it occurred and instructed her to remain still. Alexandra continued speaking during the process, stating that officers were wrong and that she had not done anything. Officers maintained a calm tone and continued directing her to relax and stop resisting. During the application of restraints, officers checked the seatbelt placement and confirmed that it had been removed earlier to safely apply the restraint device. Officers then resecured the seatbelt once the restraints were properly positioned. Throughout this process, officers continued issuing verbal commands to remain calm and stop resisting. Alexandra continued to verbally protest, questioning officers' actions and stating that their colleague was wrong. Officers responded by reiterating that multiple witnesses had provided statements indicating physical contact with minors and that the actions being taken were to prevent further resistance, property damage, or additional charges. Once the restraints were secured and Alexandra was properly seated, officers closed the patrol vehicle door. Officers remained nearby to monitor her condition and behavior. Alexandra continued to speak from inside the vehicle, stating that she had not assaulted anyone and questioning how witnesses could prove otherwise. Officers informed her that witness statements constituted evidence and that the investigation would continue. With Alexandra secured, officers returned to completing their investigation. Officers confirmed with witnesses that no additional physical incidents occurred after the initial contact and that Alexandra had been separated from the children promptly upon police arrival. Officers verified the identities and ages of the juveniles involved and confirmed that none required immediate medical attention. Officers documented statements indicating that at least 2 children were physically pushed, one of whom was pushed off a bicycle and another pushed against a fence or gate. Officers noted that the juveniles described contact involving hands near the neck area followed by pushing. Officers ensured that all statements were recorded accurately and without influence from other parties. Officers also documented Alexandra's behavior during the investigation, including repeated interruptions, refusal to follow commands, and resistance to being seated in the patrol vehicle. Officers noted that she had been advised multiple times to comply and that physical restraint was only used after verbal commands failed. As officers concluded the on-scene portion of the investigation, they returned to the patrol vehicle to inform Alexandra of the outcome. An officer explained that based on witness statements and juvenile interviews, she was being charged with 2 counts of child abuse, disorderly intoxication, and resisting without violence. Alexandra questioned why she was being charged and requested proof. Officers explained that multiple independent witnesses had provided statements corroborating the juvenile's accounts. Alexandra continued denying any physical contact and stated she had not touched the child. Officers responded by reiterating that witness statements supported the charges and that she would have an opportunity to address the allegations through the legal process. Officers asked if she had any questions regarding the charges. She continued questioning the legitimacy of the evidence and the officers' actions. Officers informed Alexandra that further discussion would take place at a later time and that the immediate focus was completing transport. Officers checked the restraints again to ensure proper fit and confirmed that she was secured for transport. They advised her to remain calm during the ride. With Alexandra secured in the patrol vehicle, officers cleared the immediate scene. Juveniles were released to the custody of accompanying adults, and witnesses were informed that officers might follow up if additional information was needed. Officers ensured the area was safe and that no further disturbances were occurring. The enforcement action concluded with Alexandra remaining in custody and officers preparing to transport her from the scene, having documented the incident and ensured all involved parties were accounted for and safe. Following Alexandra being secured in the patrol vehicle, officers completed the remaining on-scene procedures. Juveniles involved in the incident were accounted for and remained with trusted adults at the location. Officers confirmed that none of the children reported injuries requiring immediate medical attention, no ambulance was requested, and no visible injuries requiring treatment were documented on scene. Officers continued to document final statements from witnesses to ensure the sequence of events was clearly recorded. Each witness confirmed their account as previously given and provided identifying information for potential follow-up. Officers advised witnesses that they may be contacted later if additional clarification was required. No further physical incidents were reported after officers arrived and separated Alexandra from the juveniles. Once the scene was stabilized, officers returned to the patrol vehicle to complete the arrest process. Alexandra remained verbally active from inside the vehicle but was physically secured and no longer interfering with the investigation. Officers confirmed that restraints were properly applied and that the vehicle was secure for transport. An officer again advised Alexandra of the charges being applied based on the investigation. She was informed that she was being charged with 2 counts of child abuse, disorderly intoxication, and resisting without violence. Officers explained that the charges were based on statements from multiple juvenile victims and independent witnesses who reported seeing physical contact and aggressive behavior. Alexandra asked why she was being charged and requested to see proof. Officers informed her that witness statements constituted evidence and that she would have the opportunity to contest the charges through the court system. Officers did not engage in further debate and instructed her to remain calm during transport. With the arrest completed, officers prepared for transport from the scene. The patrol vehicle departed after officers confirmed that all involved parties were safe and that no additional police assistance was needed in the area. The location was cleared without further incident. Following transport, Alexandra was booked on the listed charges. No additional information regarding court dates, plea outcomes, or sentencing was provided at the time of the incident. There was no information available regarding bond, release conditions, or subsequent legal proceedings beyond the initial charges. No internal policy violations or officer misconduct were reported during the incident. Officers documented that force was limited to what was necessary to gain compliance after repeated verbal commands failed. The application of restraints was documented as a measure to prevent further resistance and ensure safety. The juveniles involved were not charged with any offenses related to the incident. Officers classified them as alleged victims based on witness statements and their accounts. Guardians were advised of the situation, and officers cleared the scene after ensuring no further conflict existed. At the conclusion of the incident, Alexandra remained in custody pending further legal proceedings. The case was forwarded through standard legal channels for review by prosecutors. Alexandra is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.